Welcome to a brand new episode of Bishop's Breakdown. This is episode 39. We're going to cover SmackDown. We're going to cover night 1 and night 2 predictions of the upcoming SummerSlam live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm going to talk about LeBron James signing with the 76ers and what that means for the league, and a Raw preview for tonight's Monday Night Raw. That and much, much more on Bishop's Breakdown. So like we always say, let's break it down. Welcome back after that banger of an intro song. Thanks again, Concrete Angels. But let's move on and let's start it off right. Friday Night SmackDown. It started with a banger and it ended with a banger. In between, mediocre, but that's what I expect usually from WWE as of late. But let's get to the good, the great, and that is the Nick Aldis and Gunther contract signing. Usually, this is how it normally goes. They sign a contract, one person end up through the table. And it's usually a paint by numbers, but it got me super excited because Nick Aldis, a.k.a. Magnus from the TNA fame and the NWA fame, and I'm just so excited that he finally gets the opportunity to show the world what I already knew, what millions of other people already knew, that this man is a great wrestler and he should have been wrestling from day one, but they decided to give him a suit and tie job and became a pretty good GM. I like his interaction with Adam Pearce throughout the years. It should have been more, with the trades and try to make it more of a sports feel. But I'm just glad that he gets the opportunity to show that he's not just a suit and tie, that he's not just Mr. Mickey James, but he's Nick Aldis, a former NWA champion, a former TNA world champion. And now the world can see what he can do. I'm going to get to my predictions later, but the way they've been building up Gunther over the past whatever months when he's been the career killer, hopefully he don't kill Nick Aldis' career and this is his one and done. But I don't see Gunther losing this match, but it's still going to be a banger. And, Nick Aldis went through a table. He's not GM no more until further notice. We'll probably after this match, after SummerSlam, he's probably going to be back into his suiting, but who knows? Maybe he'll have a handful of matches with the Cody Rhodes of the world, the Randy Ortons of the world, because he still owes Randy Orton a payback check, a receipt. Because how many RKOs he ate? 1, 2, lost count. So Nick Aldis versus Randy Orton match would be pretty dang good too. So that's my hope for Nick Aldis' future in the WWE, and hopefully they don't just throw him back in the suit and tie and act like he's not a phenomenal, no pun intended, wrestler. And there was another, face to face with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, hinting that one of these two are going to turn heel, and everyone's assuming it's going to be CM Punk, but I'm hoping that it's Cody Rhodes. He already said in an interview that if he does turn bad, Kingdom is off the table, which, duh. You can't come out as a bad guy and have the crowd singing your song because he's old school. And when he turns heel, he wants it all to be different. And it wants to show the world that he's a bad guy and that he's not going to embrace the crowd anymore. But I'm hoping for heel Cody Rhodes. So please, TKO, I know you're listening. Give me heel Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. That would be awesome. But I also don't want him to win the title, so I am conflicted. So they're going to do something phenomenal, and that seems like it's going to be the night one main event. Night two main event definitely going to be Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. So, speaking of all that, let's get right to the predictions. Let's start from the top of the card, the main events. You got Cody Rhodes challenging the World Heavyweight Undisputed WWE Champion, CM Punk. I don't see CM Punk losing this title because I don't see Cody Rhodes being champion as of right now. There's a lot of matches that CM Punk can do that are fresh and exciting, and it doesn't need to be Cody Rhodes as champion right now. Not saying that he won't win the title before the end of this year, but I don't think right now is the play. And the next championship main event match, you got the OTC Roman Reigns defending his World Heavyweight Championship against, Seth Rollins, the Architect. So they've been going back and forth saying that Roman Reigns needs to beat Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns can't beat Seth Rollins in main event matches and championship matches and World Heavyweight title matches and all this hoopla that I don't see any way that Roman Reigns does not defeat Seth Rollins. I don't know if it's going to be clean, straight up down the middle, like he has been doing his other title matches with the Punks and the Jacobs. So I don't be surprised if another member joins the bloodline and screws over Seth Rollins like a Zilla. That's a huge possibility. But maybe, just maybe, they'll have Roman Reigns. I know this is a crazy thought. Roman Reigns beat Seth Rollins the 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. No outside interference. Just him being the better man that night. Night 2 ends with Seth Rollins staring up at the ceiling and Roman Reigns over his battered dead body, raising the title high with his music playing in the background, and no one's around, like no bloodline members around helping him win this title match. That would be wild. That would be insane. That would be crazy. But I could see it happening. And I think that would cement Roman Reigns as the tribal chief, as the OTC, as the head of the table, as the man that needs all the acknowledgement. Because if a new member pops up of the bloodline and helps him beat Seth Rollins, then in the long run, it looks like Roman Reigns can't beat Seth Rollins. And I think that dialogue, that optics of what you want to achieve shouldn't be that way. It should show that Roman Reigns finally beat the guy that he couldn't beat, that he couldn't get out of his head, and that's exactly why he lost to Cody Rhodes in the first place at WrestleMania 40, because he still was hemmed up. He still had I gotta beat you, Seth Rollins. Like you destroyed my world by turning on the Shield, by coming out during my title match against Brock Lesnar, making it a triple threat, the heist of the century, all that all those demons are finally destroyed. All those demons in his back of his head is finally destroyed, and he can move on and go on his way and lose to Oba. Because clearly that's what they're building towards, that Oba Femi is going to be the guy to dethrone the OTC, Roman Reigns. And speaking of Oba Femi, Hell in a Cell versus Brock Lesnar, night 1, probably opening match. Brock likes to get things done and so he can go back home. Even though it's, an hour car ride or something from where he lives. Oba Femi got to beat Brock Lesnar soundly in the middle of the ring, in the Hell in a Cell, brutal match, but Obafemi has to be rising tall because what it gets accomplished that Brock Lesnar beats Obafemi in the Hell in a Cell in Minnesota. I'll wait. Sound off in the comments and let me know what you think would be accomplished if Brock Lesnar beats Obafemi. The rubber match, the Hell in a Cell, the end of a feud. He canceled his championship aspirations that he earned. Yes, he earned from being and winning the King of the Ring tournament. And he said no, because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get this title match and Brock Lesnar is going to interfere and ruin it for me. So I need to destroy the beast. And if he doesn't destroy the beast from on the SummerSlam card, on the Hell in a Cell match, then what are we doing? He shouldn't even won King of the Ring. So Obafemi has to win this match. And next, let's talk about the Women's World Championship. Liv Morgan is finally defending her title against Io Sky. And like I said, finally defending her title, because she hasn't defended her title since she won it. So my pick is definitely Io Sky. I mean, she won Queen of the Ring, beat Liv Morgan to become Queen of the Ring. So I don't see any way that Io Sky should lose this match and not be women's champion, to set up the possibility of Io Sky champion versus her best friend Rhea Ripley champion when they do those champion versus champion matches sooner or later. Moving on, the Intercontinental title match. You got the champion Penta putting up his title against the hometown boy, Chad Gable. Yes, my pick, crazy thought, hometown, Chad Gable, after the year he had as being, the original El Grande Americana, the amazing match he had against the other El Grande Americana, I don't see any way that Penta retains this title against Chad Gable. Give Chad Gable his first singles title in WWE after all these years that he's done it all. They give him dumb gimmicks like, I don't know, if you don't remember, I'm going to remind you, Shorty G. Yes, they gave him Shorty G. And he still outperformed what they thought he was going to do. The Alpha Academy. I'm just saying, when they stuck him with the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile and had that faction, he still rose to the top. They said, oh, here, put on a mask, be a luchador. And yes, it was dumb at first, but he, with his athletic ability and his charisma, he was over. So please, TKO, please, Triple H, give Chad Gable this Intercontinental Championship match. This that he earned. He earned the belt. I know championships aren't what they are in other sports like the NBA and the NFL and Major League Baseball. They're just props. I get it. But Chad Gable earned this prop, and he deserves to be Intercontinental Champion. So, the United States Championship, you got the champion Trick Williams defending his title against the returning Baron Corbin. Before I get to who I think's going to win, I still think Carmelo Hayes should have been added to this match, and it should have been a triple threat. Because Baron Corbin screwed over both of them. So they both have gripes with Baron Corbin, and they both got gripes with Trick Williams, the champion, and that United States Championship. But if it doesn't turn into a triple threat, Trick Williams is going to retain his title against Baron Corbin. Don't see any other way. Baron Corbin doesn't need this title, and Trick Williams still has a lot of matches in his his back pocket that he needs to have to get to the next level of, like, you know, the WWE champion or world heavyweight champion. So if it doesn't go a triple threat, if it goes a triple threat, I think Carmelo Hayes is going to come out on top. But if it doesn't, if it stays a one-on-one match against Baron Corbin, then Trick Williams is going to retain. Then you got the number one contender match for the undisputed WWE champion. You got Finn Balor, Sami Zayn. So most people are just going to assume that Sami Zayn is going to get his title shot back. Not so fast, my friends. I think Finn Balor is going to get another title shot. Finn Balor is going to face either Cody Rhodes or CM Punk at a later date. But still, Finn Balor deserves another shot at CM Punk. Because, like I said earlier, CM Punk's going to retain. CM Punk, Finn Balor. That's the match I want to see. So Finn Balor's going to win that. Then they have this interim women's championship match because Rhea can't defend her title. Normally, they strip these things, and that title will be for the women's championship. So clearly, Rhea's going to come back sooner or later, but not medically clear or not able to defend her title at SummerSlam, which is whatever. So whoever going to win this interim or whatever is going to have to challenge Rhea Ripley for the real title. So I got a dark horse for you, someone that hasn't been announced yet, but there's still one spot left. You want to hear it? I got it for you. It's AJ Lee. Yeah, AJ Lee is going to win the ladder match because, you know, she hasn't been in the ladder match in WWE, and I think this is the time that AJ Lee, the woman that started the women's revolution in the first place, gets to climb the ladder and become WWE Women's Champion, and then has to face Rhea Ripley in a banger of a match. AJ Lee is, yes, she's good. Rhea Ripley, you know she's good. Book it. AJ Lee, Rhea Ripley for the undisputed WWE Women's Champion. But for now, AJ Lee's going to climb that ladder and win that title in SummerSlam. I don't see any other way, but if AJ Lee's not in the match, Charlotte Flair. Unfortunately, Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, yeah, there's history. And they've been buddies or bosom buddies or whatever because of Alexa Bliss. But Alexa Bliss is out of the equation because she got her arm bent so far back. You think she's Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. Patting herself on the back, literally. So if AJ Lee's not in this match, Charlotte Flair. If AJ Lee's in this match, she's my pick for the women's champion. There's a 6-man tag team match. You got Team Bloodline, you got the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, and Jacob Fatu versus L.A. Knight, and Solo Sikoa and Royce Keys. So you look at it on paper, and Bloodline has to win, right? Because they've been taking L's left and right, and they're supposed to be that faction. But since they've been part of Roman Reigns' title run, but they have just been on the sidelines looking at him doing his thing. So I'm going to throw this out there. L.A. Knight, Solo Sikoa, Royce Keys finds a way to dismantle the Bloodline. With Solo Sikoa, yes, I said it, Solo Sikoa taking the winning pinfall. He's been doing great work since they cut him loose from the MFTs. He's charismatic as all heck. And he's a decent wrestler. Prize fighter, Solo Sikoa is peak cinema. If you don't believe me, look up some of his NXT matches. Before he was Roman's enforcer. He was enforcing these hands. Or the thumb. And it'll be epic once Zilla Fatu comes to the WWE. Solo Sikoa versus Zilla Fatu. It writes itself. You got the former, you got the former head of the table, the former OTC and Solo Sikoa using the Samoan Spike as his finishing move, and then you got the son of the late great Umaga and Zilla Fatu coming back with showing Solo Sikoa that the Samoan Spike is mine, not yours to have. Book that. Thank you. Give me more of that. And Zilla Fatu, I'm going to see you when you come to Wayne, Michigan to defend your title. With this special guest, a man that everybody in the IWC knows, that even the lax fans, even the little bit of a pro wrestling fans know this man. And I'm just going to do his catchphrase. Woo! Ric Flair's coming to Wayne, Michigan, and I'm a do whatever I can to get him on the podcast, even for 5 minutes, 30 seconds, something. But Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, woo! Yeah, Bishop's Breakdown's coming for you, my brother. So prepare to be for this conversation, because I don't just do interviews. I do conversations with the best, with the greatest, with anybody that wants to talk sports, want to talk pro wrestling. Drop the comment, jump in my DMs, and let's talk. Because I love talking wrestling, I love talking sports, and I want to talk it with the best, with the brightest, with everybody. And Zilla Fatu, I want to talk to you too, my brother, because your story is phenomenal. It's great, and I just want to know even more firsthand. So I'm gonna look for you too, my brother. So, anyways, back to my predictions. Now we got Gunther versus the Nick Aldis in his very first WWE match. And yes, Gunther is the career killer. Yes, he retired AJ Styles. Yes, he retired Goldberg. Yes, he retired the never seen 17 John Cena. But just maybe, they give this W to Nick Aldis. I know it probably won't happen, and Gunther's going to choke him out like he chokes everybody out. But just maybe, I'm going to throw this out. Nick Aldis defeats Gunther. 1, 2, 3. It could happen. And I'm going to put it out there in the world, in the ether. Nick Aldis will have his hand raised tall on SummerSlam weekend. And then you got Danhausen, which I love me some Danhausen. He's a funny guy. He's a good wrestler. He deserves the spot that he's in because AEW did not do him justice. Versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Danhausen. He hasn't lost yet in WWE, and I don't see that happening. I feel Joe Hendry's going to help him fend off the Judgment Day of bobblehead J.D. McDonough. Because what other person is going to... Raquel's going to interfere? Maybe. But I see Danhausen getting the W. And then you got, just added, the Bella Twins. Nikki's back. You got Paige. You got Brie versus Fatal Influence, which beat Paige and Brie to become the women's tag team champions. So let's go with Fatal Influence, because the Bellas and Paige don't need this victory, but Fatal Influence just winning the tag team championships, and you got JC Jane with aspirations to be the United States champion or world heavyweight women's champion. They can't lose right now. So right now, Fatal Influence needs this victory way more than the Bella Twins and Paige. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Bella Twins turn on Paige, because how many times have Nikki and Brie turned on somebody? 1 billion times. They're the big show of the women's division. So there you have it, top to bottom, my predictions. What are your predictions? Sound off in the comments. Let me know if you agree with my predictions or you have something way different. But either way, sound off in the comments, and let's watch SummerSlam, maybe together. Maybe I'll do a live watch along on one of the nights, either Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. But hit that bell notifications for whenever that might be. It all depends on my schedule and all depends on how I feel that things are going to go. And I want to share that view with my audience. So after the break, let's talk the Raw Preview and LeBron James and how that affects the NBA moving forward. So let's pay some bills to keep these lights on, and we'll be back after the break. This episode is brought to you by W Energy, the clean energy drink mix built for gamers, creators, and grinders like us. No jitters, no crash, no artificial dyes, just smooth, long-lasting focus whenever I'm breaking down WWE storylines, debating NBA, or just recording late at night. It's zero sugars, packed with vitamins and nutrients, and it actually keeps you locked in without the shaky feeling. Head to w.gg and use code Bishop's Breakdown at checkout and save 10%. So level up your energy and let's get back to the breakdown. And thanks for supporting the show. Welcome back. And don't forget to get that promo code and save some money on that W Energy. Good stuff. If you don't believe me, yeah. I drink it too. So I'm not just promoting it, but I drink it too. Anyways, back to the show. So let's before we get to the preview of tonight's Monday Night Raw, the go home show for SummerSlam. Let's talk the happenings in NBA. Let's talk LeBron James. Yes. The experts and the world said that LeBron James had 3 teams to pick from. He had going back home to Cleveland and ending his career where it began. He had the Miami Heat to go back to South Beach again, but now playing with the likes of Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bam Adebayo. Or he could have went to West Philadelphia, Bowen and Rays, where the playgrounds is where I spend most of my days. The Philadelphia 76ers to play with fellow Rich Paul client Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and the rest. And I'll get to the rest and the starting lineups as I see it, as most of the experts see it. But LeBron James chose to take the vet minimum, which he could have took with and stayed with the Lakers, but his ego and quite possibly friction with Luka Doncic. A lot of rumors going out that they didn't see eye to eye, which is wild to me to even fathom in my brain that Luka didn't want to play with LeBron James. But crazier things have been said, crazier things have happened. When you got 2 alphas, sometimes things don't go eye to eye and they don't want to play with each other for whatever reason. I mean, just look at Kobe and Shaq. They were both alpha A's. They both needed the ball. They both felt that they were the team. They were, top notch. They were the kings of the castle. And you can't have just too many cooks. You can't have too many chefs in the kitchen. You got to have some cooks, some grunts, some soldiers. Not everybody can be top notch, be up king dingling, you know what I mean? So maybe that's what happened. But LeBron James chose to take the league minimum and become Philadelphia 76ers. So as of recording, here's the tentative 5. And I will give my thoughts of what I think of these players. So you got at point guard, you got Tyrese Maxey. You know, he's young. He's explosive. He's the engine of the offense. And he's one of the fastest guards in the NBA. And he clearly can put up points when need be. He can clearly facilitate when need be. And he can be the guy that gets those open looks once LeBron James is running the court. So you got that. And then you got a shooting guard. You got VJ Edgecombe. You know, he's explosive. He's expected to bring athleticism and perimeter offense to the 76ers. Like he did with Maxey, like he did with Embiid, and those few times that Paul George played, which weren't that often. And then at small forward, you got a former Finals MVP. I'm just saying, Jaylen Brown came from the Boston Celtics, won a title with Tatum, and now he's a all-star, Finals MVP, two-way wing guard, but plays forward, small forward, who adds another, all-star level scorer to the 76ers. And that's before they got LeBron James. And then at power forward, which is where experts like myself assume that he's going to play at the 4th spot. I mean, he's a veteran. He's a playmaker. He can create his shot. You know, he can play all 5 positions if need be. So that just adds a wrinkle to the offense of already a stacked offense before I even got to the last 2 on the court. And then you got Joel Embiid, former regular season MVP. He can, he can shoot the 3. He can go down low, but it all depends on his health. For all of them, namely Joel Embiid and LeBron James, their health is vital to whether this is not just a playoff team, but can make it to the NBA Finals and compete for a championship against the likes of the Spurs or the Thunder or the Nuggets. Like, if they can stay healthy relatively, they don't even need to be healthy for the entire regular season. They just need to be healthy for playoff time. Because I feel without those 2 and those, those 4 or those 3 that I named, mentioned before, the Jaylen Brown, the VJ Edgecombe, and the Tyrese Maxey, they are good enough to make it to the playoffs. And not to have 82 games with LeBron James, with aging LeBron James, and I don't want to call him this, but an injury-prone Joel Embiid. That he can make sure that he's 100% for when it matters the most, and that's the playoffs. That they can weave him in and not make him play back-to-backs, not make him play long road trips out west or wherever. That they can just concern themselves by playing good ball, having them come in and out of the lineup to give them reps as a team, as a 5. So when the playoffs happen, they already know what they have in each other, and they can trust each other in the long run, like I said, during the playoffs, which they need them the most. And if they can do that, and they're all 100% going into the playoffs, I don't see any way that the East, any team on the East, can stop the 76ers healthy, 100% healthy. If they're not healthy, then it's anybody's turn in the East. You still got the Knicks. You still got the Celtics. I know they got Paul George, and I'm not a fan of Paul George player because I have not seen him stay healthy long enough to warrant anything. You got, depending on this whatever with the Clippers and Kawhi, but you got the Raptors with Kawhi coming back. That could be dangerous. You still got the Pistons. Dangerous. Maybe the Heat will make noise. Maybe they still can find some pieces to put around Giannis and Bam, like shooters, like scorers from the perimeter. Because if they got some scorers in the perimeter and you got Giannis, a motivated Giannis, that's going to be a dangerous team as well. You still got Cleveland. And they might feel some type of way because LeBron James said no. So don't be surprised if they're gunning for the Sixers to be spoilers for that super team. Because you still got Donovan Mitchell, you still got James Harden. And they were on the cusp of making the finals, but the uncursed New York Knicks, thank you, Danhausen, wasn't going to be stopped. But with all that being said, if the Sixers are 100% healthy and LeBron James is playing anywhere near he has played in the last couple seasons, and Joel plays 75% of his MVP type caliber talent, and you still got Maxey putting up 30 and VJ putting up 20 and Jaylen Brown putting up 25 to 30. Like, I know there might not be enough basketballs to go around, and that one person is going to have to be the facilitator, and one person is going to have to be the go-to scorer because there's not enough shots to go around. But if they can make it work, because clearly what is on paper is not what is actually going to be played on the court. But if they can do even 50% of what people think they can do on paper, and they do it on the court day in, day out, especially in the playoffs during these long 7-game series, there's no questioning in my mind that the Philadelphia 76ers will make the NBA Finals next year. But again, it all depends on the health of the LeBron James, and it all depends on the health of Joel Embiid. That they might need to find some backups for these two guys to get, make up the slack if they can't play back-to-backs. If they can't play throughout these 7-game series, they might need to rest. They might need to take a step back and not play 34, 35 minutes a game during the playoffs. But it's going to be super interesting. And me personally, I can't wait to see how this NBA season unfolds with all the moves. And as the season comes closer and closer, don't forget to hit that notification button, because your boy Bishop is going to bring all the insight of what I think each team are going to bring to the table, and each free agent and each trade will affect their new teams going forward as we get closer to the season. And also, getting closer to the season, I'm also going to give you my favorite top 5s of all time. So my favorite all-time point guards, all-time shooting guards, all-time small forwards, power forwards, and centers going into the season, and my preview the very first week of the NBA season. So keep it tuned to the Bishop Breakdown channel on YouTube, and shout out in the comments below of who you think is your favorite all-time point guards, power forwards, shooting guards, small forwards, and centers in the comments below. And keep tuned and you'll find out my picks for those. But that's episode 39. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you, because I love this game of sports. I love pro wrestling. I know I might seem sour and very hateful towards some of the stuff I see, but it's because I care. If I didn't care, I would be easy to flip the channel and turn it off and never come back to it. But I love pro wrestling. I love sports. I love the ups. I love the downs. I'm going to be there through it all. And that's why I'm a fan of all of it. I'm not a bandwagon fan and only come around when it's good. I'm there when it's bad. I'm there when it's good. Either way, Bishop's going to bring you the real takes, the real non-sugar-coated aspect of all sports, including WWE. So, like a great man once said, Dueces, Uces. And that's the show for this week. Keep it tuned here.